Hello and welcome back to another episode of Joy This Moment. I'm your host and coach, Mevy and happy New Year's Eve, people! I was gonna have the party poppers, but I did. Oh gosh, where did I put them somewhere? Can't remember. Anyway, it's New Year's Eve. I really need to be downstairs with my family because we're about to have dinner soon, but I am going to keep this very short and snappy. I want to share with you some of my reflections and learnings of this year. And let's take a moment to recognize that this year has been the most, challenging of years ever. I'm gonna literally put that out, the challenging years ever, because the pandemic has changed our lives in some way, shape, or form. For some, it brought opportunity. For some, it brought grief. For some, it brought inner joy. For some, it brought innate sadness. For some, it brought everything. So it's been a year of fountain of feels. So the most important lesson for me is that it is so important to be self-compassionate with ourselves when we're going through any change, whether you're trying to build new habit, like you want to eat healthier or feel healthier, drink more water, whatever that habit is, allowing yourself to have that sense of compassion when we're going through individual personal change, but also as we're going through collective change, because things have changed for us very quickly as we've gone into a lockdown, out of a lockdown, and going in and out of lockdowns. And so there is a lot of change happening at the same time. And one thing that we all know is that our brain hates change because it associates change with pain, and any form of pain is just like, our brain just goes into like extreme anxiety mode, and it's just very fearful of change and pain. And that's just the reptilian part of our brain. The amygdala kicks off anxiety, and any form of change means that you are trying to leave your comfort zone. So whether it's personal change, personal positive change, or just a collective change coming from a pandemic, our brain doesn't really see the difference. It's just an organ. So self-compassion is very, very important this year, and that's been my biggest takeaways. So leading on from that, the 4 key things I realized is very important to forgive yourself. Grieving is totally okay. I'm going to go into that one because of course it's okay, but in what grief that I'm talking about, I will expand on that. So forgiving yourself, super important. Grieving is okay. Dream bigger and take risks. So forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself for the plans that you had set out at the start of 2020, but they didn't fully materialize by the end of this year. There's a lot going on in the world, and we've had to adapt very quickly to external changes that we don't have control over. And it's okay if some of those plans didn't play out. Fast forward it to 2021. There's nothing stopping us from achieving our goals in 2021 or even 2022, right? As we are hopefully coming out of this pandemic, because there is some good news about the vaccines. In fact, my grandmother got the vaccine, so hopefully in fact, that just gives us a light at the end of the tunnel, right? So there is light at the end of the tunnel. Secondly, grieving is okay. Of course, we have lost so many loved ones around the world, and it's totally okay to take that moment to grieve. It's totally okay to not be okay, but also it's okay to grieve the dreams and plans you had at the start of the year as well. We've all had to adapt and change, and sometimes it's grieving the dreams that we had planned for this year. And so don't let anyone take that moment of grief away from you. You can grieve for people, you can grieve for ideas, you can grieve for your plans. It's all okay. Thirdly, dream big. This year's shown us anything, life can change in an instant. So if you have a desire to change your life for the better, if you have bigger life goals and bigger visions and you're not quite where you are, allow yourself to dream it. Often we stop ourselves from wanting more because we think we're not worthy of more. And the reality is, you are absolutely worthy of everything you desire. You are worthy of everything you desire. You just don't know it yet, or you've totally forgotten that you're worthy, which is which is usually the case. Because here's the thing, all of us are worthy. We just don't recognize it within ourselves sometimes. And then we stop ourselves from dreaming those bigger dreams and talk ourselves out of it. But why? So I'd like you to take this moment to think about something, think about your dream and why have you been putting it off? Final point, take risks, take the plunge. What if you don't take any action on your dream, then you'll continue living the life that you're still living. But if you just take the small baby steps, and a small baby step could actually be putting that pen to paper, because then your mind starts thinking about how to make that dream happen. The ideas and inspiration flows in when you allow yourself the space for ideas and inspiration to flow in. And one of the best way is to put that pen on paper and start searching for those opportunities. And some of those opportunities are going to feel risky because, again, risks are outside our comfort zone, and we are generally programmed to stay in our comfort zone because, again, that change is uncomfortable, even though it's good change. So take the risk anyway, because what have you got to lose? And though that's where I'm going to leave you with, I just really want you to think about what are the 3 things. Actually, no, I'm going to reframe that. I want you to think about what is it that you want to be in 2021. I'll tell you what I want to be. I want to be more focused, more disciplined, and I think I had a third. No, those are the 2. Be more focused, more disciplined, and yes, the third one's have more direction, especially direction for my business as I've just launched. And I'm someone who has heaps and heaps of ideas. I'm an idea generator, and I do implement as I go along. But focus and more focus, more discipline, more direction. Those are my 3 B's. What is it that you want to be next year in 2021? Have a wonderful New Year's Eve from me here in Norwich to you all around the world, and I will catch you in 2021.